Hi, welcome to the section in cardiology, the study of the heart. Here I'm talking to you about a lot of vital organs today, and it's just a series ongoing where I'm talking about harm from alcohol and drug abuse. I'm sure you'll find this also a very inquisitive question because the habit of alcohol and habit of drug abuse, unfortunately, is widespread from all strata of life, from rich to poor, and young age to old age. So it has no barriers, unfortunately, and once this habit gets in, at that point the vital organs they start developing changes, and initially they are reversible, but later on they become irreversible and they are permanently damaged. So let's talk about the brain first. Brain being a very important part of your body, obviously. The first thing that happens is diminished cognition, where you're not able to assess, impaired the judgment, and that's why it is very, very crucial for any person who has alcohol or drug abuse on board. Obviously cannot use any machinery and leave aside driving, or anything that impairs his cognition. So that's number one. But over a period of time the memory loss develops, and which is very, very embarrassing both to the patient, the family, and of course more to the patient than anybody else, because he or she cannot even find his car, his keys, the person's house, etc., etc. So this is a very, very serious thing that develops as it progresses, both from alcohol and drug abuse. I'm not going to go into the details of what drugs we're talking about, but in general I've just put it as a class drug abuse harm we are discussing. The heart shows enlargement and failure, and the heart begins to enlarge, and as a result the left ventricle takes the biggest brunt, and it starts to enlarge. It tries to accommodate as much as possible the blood that's being pumped, but then later on it fails and is not able to pump enough, and then the swelling starts and the breathing difficulty starts in the lungs, and the water accumulates within the lung or around the heart. Liver obviously is a metabolic factory, so anything that passes through the liver, whatever we eat and drink, will take the brunt. If specifically these poisons are circulating around the liver cells, they just perish and develop as microscopic holes, and later on macroscopic holes, which one can pick up even on an X-ray or a scan, and one can see these holes, if you will, and that's called cirrhosis of the liver. That's the clinical term, cirrhosis. Stomach lining is swollen, and sometimes it's eroded, and over a period of time develops ulcer, and then GI bleeding can occur. Initially manifesting as small bleeds, but later on can be very massive bleeds, could be very alarming, and that's an emergency, and a lot of the times require surgery. In the kidneys, swelling occur, and bleeding can occur, and swelling under the skin, under the eyes, under your face, and etc., etc., is all related to the kidney damage, which later on progresses to develop into a failure. So here are some of the areas of vital organs where I've defined in this set of series where the harm can occur from all these poisons, external poisons that one tends to pour into his or her body. So I guess initially it's all reversible, but then later on, once the vital organs are damaged, it's almost like a point of no return, and things get really literally irreversible, and at that point only a rehabilitative way a person can find treatment, and obviously the longevity, the meaningfulness of the life is lost, the social economic adjustment to the society is lost, and so it's a no-win issue from these habits, unfortunately, and therefore the faster one can quick kick this habit, chances are you'll be in a reversible stage where you can save all the damages and restore yourself and be as meaningful to the society as to yourself as well. So that's a nutshell in this section here I've been able to outline. Hopefully you found this interesting, and many, many more interesting segments coming up in future. Stay tuned. Talk to you soon now. Thank you for your attention. Bye.